it is stored, how it is stored, including going for lessons in terms of how to shoot, how to use it. So, I mean, currently it's a very, very comprehensive, intensive process, which is a good process because people understand that it is a weapon that it can cause untold harm. So it's responsible, and I'm happy we have this process here. But now, as you've mentioned, they are illegal fire. I mean, every robbery, there's a firearm here. And
Precisely.
most of the times people are charged for having illegal firearms, but nothing ever gets done. So now you're actually just making the stakes more unequal as it is if now you are confronted with an armed robbery or violence or any such thing where there's a firearm there, and you don't have one to defend yourself or protect yourself.
Correct. And what makes it worse is that we don't even have the correct number of one policeman to a population ratio. All right. You don't even have the resources. How many times do you hear stories of people actually calling for help with the police and them never actually arriving on the site? We're dealing with for instance, right now in the east of Pretoria, we're dealing with a big issue of people's cars being spiked, all right, and them being attacked. Just last night, there was a woman and her husband who were shot at just here in the east of Pretoria, all right. People are being slaughtered, more so. And especially women, we are the most vulnerable. I mean, most of the times it's our husbands who are out there who are uh, 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 um, you know, uh, bringing the bacon home, so to speak, and you are at home with your kids. Now, if you have a break in your home, how else are you supposed to defend yourself if you do not have the tool to do so? You can't even call for help and help arrive on time. The police ministry is being ridiculous in this instance and is trying to push people into a corner. And I don't know how they're trying to control us, but instead of fighting the fight of crime, they're fighting people who are legally licensed. Why would you do that? Why would you attack the very citizens whom you should be asking for help from, instead of attacking them every time and taking away their only means to defend themselves?
So why this punitive measure? Because this is having your fire license is actually, I mean, and having a firearm is actually empowering yourself to stand up and also to show claim. I'm not afraid. I will defend my property. I will defend my right. It is my right to do so. I mean, I'm looking at not only the amount of single females that live with their children here. They don't have a male in the house. I mean, there's so many single females. So what do they do? I mean, you will apply for a firearm for self-defense. This is the reason you have it, and to protect your children. What about females that are in abusive relationships? They keep firearms to actually save themselves from death, from violence, from near-death experiences. They have that firearm, at least they have some sort of protection in cases of domestic violence. So it's not even crime, but it's against domestic violence as well. They've decided.
Precisely.
So I can't understand. For me, why would I? And you know what's just going to happen? People will want a gun license, and they're going to look for other reasons. But that is your reason. So why are you
Why
putting us in
lie?
this situation? No, and also why put me in that situation? Because it's
Yeah.
government putting me in that situation and creating avenues for me to lie. Then, because that would be my reason. Now, I'm not gun enthusiastic or use it for sport or for other things. Uh, as a person, I have now come to realize that I need to be more proactive in terms of defending myself, and not
Mm.
become a victim. If I want to be a survivor, I have to take fear out of it, and I have to be
Yes.
strong enough to defend myself.
You know,
So,
and the president spoke about the second pandemic of gender-based violence. I mean, this spits in the face of that statement already. How are you uh, enabling women to defend themselves, against gender-based violence? If people can't have it for self-defense, not everybody wants it as a sport like Tshepi does. You know what I mean? They just want to be able to protect their families. They just want to be able to go to a mall when they want to. They just want to be able to be out there. Where are we supposed to go in the current state that South Africa is in terms of crime? And it's escalating by the numbers, by the
So,
thousands.
Seppi, have you engaged with the department? Let's just get the wording here, the directed. So it is a civilian secretariat for police services. Have you engaged with them to understand their rationale and reason behind saying that self-defense will no longer be a reason?
So yes, so we're currently in the process right now, and we're sending all our objections and everything else towards this amendment. And I mean, we only got the draft amendment. Basically, I think it was Friday
Mm-hmm.
evening, late evening. So we've also been getting our legal aspects on this and just getting to understand. And I mean, so far, what we've seen is that there is no rationale, but we are engaging at every platform to try and understand why. We heard the minister yesterday, I think it's yesterday or on Saturday in Zandspruit, saying that he just wants to remove the number of firearms, in circulation. Are you kidding us? There are legally licensed firearms. Why are you not going after the illegal ones? I mean, there's so many firearms that are coming out of the police service itself, and yet you're going after the legally licensed ones. Why would you do that? For us, there is no rationale currently.
I'm as you speak, I'm baffled. They say sometimes when you hear things, you left stupider for it. Excuse my comment, but I feel dumber for having listened to this. I know that somebody's going to complain about that comment, but I just feel sometimes when people tell you something, you just left like this, like you like just it clouded your mind and it took you, and you're just like dumber for listening to this. This is how I exactly feel now, because I can't understand it, because how is reducing legally licensed firearms where people, I've just spoke of the process from a lived experience of my spouse having to grow to this process. It took him, I think, 9 months to a year before he could own a licensed firearm that is registered, and yet it has to be kept in a safe space. I mean, we have to create this box and pictures and things, so what an arduous process it is to
It
obtain
is.
a license. Yeah, it's just the process alone is a deterrent not to
It's
own one.
arduous. It's beyond. When we tell people that it will go beyond what you think it's gonna go, they think, until they get into it.
So
And
now
I
I'm
mean,
going to
there's
ask you
people.
something, Seppi, as an advocate and a very, very strong advocate against gender-based violence. That's what we are told, women. You know what? Stop being victims. You need to take control for your circumstances. Learn self-defense. Learn to protect yourself. Learn to stand up for yourself. And part of that is carry a gun for self-defense, for protection, because if you feel this is one of the ways where you're going to feel more secure and more protected, so we're advocating them to get the gun for self-defense, and this is what the narrative is. And
Yes,
now the
you
police,
want to
who's
take that
supposed to
away.
be our protectors, yeah, have now want to take this away. I'm feeling
They
more dumber now the more I'm analyzing this with you.
the heartbreaking thing is that we say, and we always say, that a firearm is a tool. It's an option. you know
Absolutely.
it's not for everybody, and but we need that option to be there. We know that me against a big old oak, I'm not going to win physically, trying to fight that person off, you know. But a firearm is a tool, much like a knife is a tool, much like, an axe is a tool, or whatever the case is, you know. But why do you want to take away our options? Why do you want to put us in those situations where we've got nothing else
You're
but
making
to
us
succumb?
defenseless. We just gonna
You
become more defensive and vulnerable.
precisely, precisely, precisely. So
Okay.
there
So
is no rationale.
how even though I don't own a gun, I feel strongly about this taking away my right to have a tool to defend myself, specifically a gun in this case here. So how can I support organizations such as yourself in terms of bolstering objections and things like that? Are you creating is gun owners association going to be campaigning, and are you going to have a campaign where we could just send our objections and our supports, and then you send it to the department in terms of responding in terms of the with the objections and
Yes,
commenting?
so there is an email address that's we've posted on the Girls on Fire group and also the Gun Owners South Africa
Mm-hmm.
and on Facebook, so you can have a look at there. There's links to to that email, and you can just state your objections. We invite everybody. We are planning, you know, some sort of protests, if I can put it that way. And all of this information is going to be posted on both the Gun Owners South Africa and on Girls on Fire.
So, Tshepi, while I have you here, gun owners South Africa, most people are familiar in terms of being in a body that speaks for owners and represents owners. But tell me a little bit more, while I have you here on, tell me a little bit more about Girls on Fire. I'm intrigued.
All right. So the concept of Girls on Fire was born back in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea behind it was to have women as victims no longer. So that is our slogan. You're a victim no longer, you know. We wanted women to stand up for their rights and also not to be stuck in a corner and say, but I'm a woman, I am weak, and therefore I'll sit in a corner over there and I cannot defend myself. We want women to stop with that narrative. We want to train up women to defend themselves legally. So we have events that we call them the Top Shot events, where we have introductions to handgun, where we go through the legal processes, the theories behind firearm, the different caliber of firearms, and also the legalities behind it. And obviously, we give women the opportunity to if they want to go further with it, they can go through the process through the Girls on Fire campaign, and we take them step by step through everything. There is training provided by Girls on Fire, so we advocate. We go from place to place, just advocating for women to, and we give women the platform. So we do it specifically for women, you know, where it's a safe space for women, it's run by women, and it's for women.
This is indeed so empowering. Really, I feel so proud listening, and I just like this. Girls on Fire really sets the scene that we can do it. We got fire in us. You know what? And I love what you say. Victims no longer, because that's what I'd like to change the narrative of sisters all around. Please be positive. You know what? A woman is a person just by virtue of being a female. We have that inner strength. We have that
Yeah.
quality of perseverance, of resilience. And this is innate qualities just that we've been blessed by virtue of us being females. We can adapt, we can evolve, we multitask. I mean,
Yes.
yourself, you are wearing two hats here on one organization. That would be too much for men. He does this, he does this. It's okay. But I mean, that the fact that you wear two hats and you can interchange them just like the seamlessly and effortlessly. This is how females roll, and I think we need to stop seeing ourselves as weak, as meek, and we can't do, and also empower ourselves to say, we're stronger, we can stand up. And let's not become victims of our circumstances. So we rise above this. So I'm definitely going to. You said the objection we'd find also on Girls on Fire in terms of supporting
Yes.
this.
Yes. Please visit our Facebook page. So you can just Girls on Fire on Facebook. You'll see all the everything we've posted in terms of the proposed amendments, and also how you can object to it, and so on. Also on the GOSA page as well.
Well, and there's anybody out there that's feeling very, very vulnerable at now, please do visit Girls on Fire, because that will be a space that will take you out of this position, allow you to transcend from this feeling of vulnerability to this feeling of empowerment, and to visit the website, because it's so important. And I thank you for having such an advocacy group and such a platform that is so truly empowering.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and we can use all the help we can get. It's literally all hands on deck right now.
Absolutely. And Tshepi, this is your platform. That is what our brain of humanitarian journalism does, is allow a place to amplify voices of your advocacy groups, NGOs, people who just take issues whenever there's injustice or laws that will come that will discriminate against people, and that this is the platform for you. So please feel free to contact my producer, and anytime. I love chatting with you. I love to feel
Thank
this
you.
connection. I'm thriving on your positive energy and your positivity, and it's just bouncing off on me, and I feel so excited, and I feel so proud that we have organizations such as this as well. And we wish you good luck, and may you continue to change people in terms of their and their mindsets, so that they become empowered and they're no longer victims.
Thank you very much, Miriam. We really appreciate all the help. We really do. And yes, we will be in contact. Definitely.
Okay, and this is a good explanation. So you can just take share this link on your website, because this is a Facebook Live interview. So you can share this link on your website as well, so that people can hear that. Really, I can't understand who makes these amendments and recommendations. Sometimes it boggles the mind. We have so
It
many
does.
things to sort out, so many really serious issues and important issues, and then you're going attack people who are already vulnerable. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me.
It
But
doesn't make sense.
we have people like Tshepi who is going to show them that, what, this is nonsensical, and I'm going to hear that it's going to be scratched out, and it will be a very good reason to own a gun. And I know it's going to be through all the supporters and the good work that you're doing. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me here on Salam Media.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Miriam. Bye bye.
Bye. And that was Tshepi from Girls on Fire, as well as spokesperson for Gun Owners South Africa. We're going to take a short break, and then we're talking, yes, rising COVID cases.